What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, fresh out. You know, we do it over here. I'm chilling with my homie Tank, the OG LA legend. And man, we talking about some major game here. And I wanted him to share with you guys a little bit about his lifestyle before he went to the feds. This dude was out there international, you know, in places a lot of you guys can only imagine in your mind. Tank, share with us a little bit about, you know, the type of lifestyle you were involved in prior to going to the feds, and some of the things you were doing, man. 'Cause I know you were rubbing elbows with a lot of people, and you don't have to drop no names, but you know you were living it, and you know a lot of people talk about it, bro, but you was out there actually immersed in that.
Yeah, yeah, man. I was, man. We was like legends out of Hollywood, man. We you know, originally from LA, the East Side. I mean, you know, came from the gang bang background and all that. And I don't really like even putting names on gangs like that because I don't want kids to look at this and think this is, you know, because that's what gets their eye. Oh, he's from so-and-so, and I don't want to be like that. And that's not the message I would want to give out. My message is to stray away from that and become something. You know what I'm saying? And look at the struggles I went through. You know what I'm saying? To make yourself better. You know what I'm saying? Almost like it's like I had to sacrifice to give this message to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To get it to be better. But yeah, man, you know, me and my co-defendant, you know, he played for USC, and we linked up, man, and we went ham, man. Like, you know, we was out here moving big weight, moving it around. And it ain't nothing I'm proud of. It's just something I kind of got caught up in, and I own up to it. And I, you know, just off the top, you know, I made the choice to do it. Nobody forced me to do it. You know what I'm saying? It was all on me. It wasn't because I didn't have a father. It wasn't, you know, I take ownership on anything I do. Any crime I break or whatever, you know, I ain't running around here and blaming everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man and say, yeah, I made these bad decisions that took me down maybe a roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was good, it was bad, it was good, it was bad, but in the end, you know, being picked up by the feds and doing fed time, you know, the feds is a whole different beast. You know, you can't win against them. You know what I'm saying? They can get away with anything. They're above the law. You know what I'm saying? So if you remotely out there, any of you kids or any of you growing up thinking you gonna beat them, man, you got another thing coming. You know what I'm saying? And when they grab you, and these are these dudes that get in there and they start talking and they start doing all this crazy shit, all the manhood go out the window and they behind closed door making secret deals. This is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's even acceptable now in culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's why
so you think and nowadays that like these guys snitching and doing something big. It's not like when we grew up.
Yeah, nothing. This is a whole different generation, man. And here you can get away with whatever. It doesn't even matter. In fact, you might even get more fame. You know what I'm saying? Like you might get more likes. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what we live in. There's no, you know, we come from a real era. Remember, you know, gangs started. We can go all the way back to the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? And what did they do to the Panthers? Which was unified, protected the black community, gave education. I'm not saying they were perfect, but they did more for the community than any of these gangs I know today. You know what I'm saying? And what they do? Chopped off the heads of all the leaders. And what happened to the next generation? They grew up into the Bloods and Crips you got now. But they didn't have the leadership and that unity to move forward because they were controlled by what? The drugs and the money, right? Which was set in our communities by who? Politics. See what I'm saying? And then it just goes from there and it just gets more corrupted. I mean, I come from that era, I respect it because, you know, in my era, I caught the ass end of a real era. You know, in the state, I got a J number. So that's, you know, how old I am. And this guy's, and I got homies, is, you know, all the way back to A and even before that. But those are when the real legends really were up in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that era's over. So anybody that's out there searching for that right now, man, it's like, it's so watered down to even be remotely trying to make a name now.
I know. I tell dudes all the time, the streets are done.
Yeah, it's like
that shit is done, man.
It's like, you know, being a UFC champ, fighting here, and then you go to some little backyard brawl and you're trying to make a name there because you lost here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what do you get from that? You was here. You know what I'm saying? So you can't. It's oranges and apples. So why not focus that energy on really getting out here and doing something that's long term and has longevity in it? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, my life and it got real crazy. You know what I'm saying? Houses in Peru, Panama, Costa Rica. We was traveling, you name it, anywhere. Privates. There's a documentary coming out pretty soon. And a lot of those, Tank. You know what I'm saying? When you punch it in, you Google it, you'll see it, and it's intense. But it's a good story though, and I think it can help people that watch it get it better, because the way the feds had us, they make you like you just some El Chapos. You out here cutting heads off. Yeah. They got damn murder on the case. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But by the time they blasted you all over the news, but that's just one of their tactics, and they got that resource to do that.
Character assassination.
Yeah, and it never was like that. It was just all about trying to finesse, and have something that I didn't have before, right? And you kind of get caught up in it, the adrenaline, man, we went from partying to the, Vegas. I mean, I'm talking about every month I was in another country or another state having the best time of my life. You know what I'm saying? Living it. Man, I woke up, especially in other countries, man, I had any girl I wanted. I mean, villas hanging off the hill. We had all the toys over there, bodyguards everywhere. I mean, it was a life, It felt like something what it would be like, I guess, to be, I'd say a famous rapper or an actor somewhere, you know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of times, me and my co-defendant, when we did go out, and we always had an array of ball players with us, the hottest on the scene at that time. And I felt like, we were more famous than them when we pulled up, It's kind of like a Wolf of Wall Street kind of story, how they party, getting high, fuck the partying girls and doing all that, except take out the stock market and all that stuff and just put drugs in. You know what I'm saying?
So it's almost like the lifestyle itself was the high.
It was a high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, from the moment you wake up, there was meetings to be at that was important, making money. There was, a girl that wanted to take you out or you were taking them out. There was a nightclub, the hottest, the hoo-hoos. There was getting pampered. There was getting, your massages, getting Botox, getting things that I never said I would never get. I was getting it just because you can get it. Man, give me some of that. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Oh, you do what else for your face? I'll take that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, stem cell? Let me run that. I don't even know if it's working or not. You know what I'm saying? Just slap it in me. Let's go. And, and just staying on top of it and just being the best you could be and representing yourself in that world. It was intense. It was deep, I mean, man, traveling private, man, you get accustomed to living a certain type of way, man. But them feds will humble you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when the feds got a hold of me, man, listen, I'm a grown man. I cried in my cell. If any dudes think they ain't about to lose their life, sit up in there, they so bad that they answer, they'll lie. You know what I'm saying? When the feds had me and I felt like I was never coming home, and all I could see is when I looked out that window, the misery that was walking around and, no hope, no nothing. Like, this is the rest of my life right here. You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine, man, I'd rather be shot dead in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Than to have to live a lifetime of that. Somebody telling you what to do, where to go, how to eat. You know what I'm saying? Get naked. You know what I'm saying? So it's that ain't no life for nobody, man,
Well, people, a lot of times when they hear these rappers and I've heard some of them, oh man, RICO and this and that. I said, man, you do not want a RICO. You do not want a CCE. You do not want anything to do with the Alphabet Boys and these number crimes, because it's not a joke, man. But they got people thinking like they so cool. And like you said, I just seen a video where they show some dudes in Atlanta. He got arrested, man, and he was crying. They're like, how are you waving the gun? I was just waving the gun. You just waving it. I mean, dude, these dudes up in there telling on themselves, crying, breaking down, and it's two sides to the coin.
Yeah.
You run around out here terrorizing, and I tell them all the time. I said, man, you terrorizing, and then you get when you get caught, you say, oh man, it's white supremacy.
Right.
But you was out here, dude. You got away with so much shit. So you got to kind of think, because I know when I got to the feds. And I'm sitting there like you, man, 120 months. I'm looking like, yeah. And they're like, oh, man, you short timing. I said, damn, short timing?
Yeah.
120 months?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a decade. That means for 10 years?
Listen.
Woo!
Let me tell you right now. I came out of Central Islip because I got arrested in New York. And in Central Islip, it's like in I want to say Long Island, wherever it's somewhere over there. And this court was known for handing out time. Like, and I remember sitting in there, and this is like my second time going to court in the feds. I'd never been in the feds in my life. And this is when I realized that this was a different ball game, okay? I remember dudes was coming from court. One guy came in, he got 22 years. He had to have been about 35, between 35 and 40. And he was happy when he came down here. And I couldn't figure this out. Right? He's like, man, I just got 200 something months, right? And I forgot. But I was doing the calculation. I said, man, that's over 20 years, right? Because you take you a minute.
Yeah.
That's why they give it to you in months.
Yeah, months.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Because you'll get hit in court and they'll hammer you there. You're like, oh, 200 something months. Like, because you're thinking months.
Yeah.
It sound good. You're like, months, that can't be too bad. And you get back to that cell, you start really thinking about it. You're like, wait a minute. Well, that's 20-something years. You know what I'm saying? And he was happy. And I didn't want to, bust his bubble or whatever he thought was happening is in there. But I was saying, damn, he's 35. So, what is that? 45, 55, so 60. So he's somewhere home. Like, he was like, your life, you still have life. I'm not saying you don't. But I'm saying is, what kind of life can you have after that, right? Obviously, coming home and you damn near a senior citizen, or if not a senior citizen, right?
Yeah.
How much work can you do to, especially in an economy where inflation is through the roof, and whatever job you think that after coming home, how many doors are slamming on you once they know you got this kind of record, or, it's like, man, I don't know.
And think about trying to start a career at that point.
Right. How far can you get, right? And I just was like, man, like this, they're giving that much time to so many people that when you get a 15, 20-year bid, you feel like you got a deal. And that's just a warped way of thinking. But I'm saying, listen, your crime is your crime, and the sentence guideline is whatever it is. That ain't gonna never change, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, it is set up to take down a certain demographic of people more than the other demographic, for sure. You know what I'm saying? But, it's just like, man, mentally, the PTSD of just being in there, that I got from that was just crazy. Like, I remember coming home, man, I'm telling you, I had to see and talk to somebody who I felt was sane enough to understand where I was coming from, that had tools. And that's, a lot of people don't. They don't get that help. They don't go out and talk to anybody first. Because as men, we figure like we don't need help. We can just fix it ourselves. And boom, next we back in, in prison.
Well, too, when you go through that, and you try to talk to you're talking to a civilian, it's hard for a person to imagine the type of shit that you're gonna see or what you experience. Some people think, oh, I got a bad day, this and that. And I'm like, man, when I think I'm having a bad day, I just think about some of the places I've been. I'm like, man, this ain't that bad
at all.
You know what I mean? It ain't that bad because you've seen some crazy shit in there, and just people. I mean, think about some of the mindsets of people that you cross paths with. You wouldn't believe it if people see them on the street. I mean, literally, like, I've never seen nobody like this.
Right.
I know you've seen. I mean, people you've dealt with. What is something that just blew your mind? You couldn't believe, like, this. I've never in my wildest dreams would I've thought I've even talked to anybody like this.
Right. I mean, there's animalistic stuff going on in there, man. This dude's getting raped up in there. Like, this is really going on. Like, this ain't, I remember hanging out with one guy. They came in, they was doing they was changing over a yard. So they're doing basically like a soft yard for, these kind of crimes. And so they taking all these dudes out and putting them on the hard yard. So they do that all the time. And they were just passing through. We were in Brooklyn. And man, this little crew they came from Miami, or it was in Florida, the joint that was out there. So they landed there and they came in there off the bus, their whole thing. And man, listen, man, it was this black dude was a cell with this Asian kind of dude, but they all knew each other from the same yard. So they sailed up in there and whatnot. And I remember the next day, we went on lockdown, and man, all these CEOs came running in. They pulled open the cell and they started beating, the brother up. So we all on the door, like, man, what the fuck is y'all doing? Bang, boom, 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 boom. Like, but that mean they beating him up, right? Like dragging him, everything, dog walking. I'm like, damn. well, you know, what could he have done? He was in the cell. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, you know, was he smoking? Was he this? What was he that? And then so we come out, and the Asian cat, he was talking to one of his man. He's like, man, he took me.
Oh,
And I said, man, I'm thinking like, look, I'm like, oh man, and the dude was like a straight, clean cut.
wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I'm thinking the kind of sickness or warped mind to get pleasure out of that, or whatever the case is. That shit was mind blowing to me, man. I'm looking at, you know, but I mean, this is common. This has been going on since the beginning of time, right? Obviously, you know, but just that kind of, you know, animalistic, you know what I'm talking about, mentality that's going on in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, or just dudes just, you know, man, you know, we come offline, man, I seen dudes get hit in the neck, just like, and not just one time, you know what I'm saying? But like as many times you can before the body falls, like type, like just vicious, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I mean, it is what it is, but like there's a certain something that isn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
ain't on there, like, you know what I'm saying? And this could have been over some of the dumbest, man, I promise you, some of the dumbest situations, bro. And it's just to prove a point, and I get it, because we in here like that. But this is what they trained you to be in animals, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is the guys that come home that they expect, well, they know what's actually gonna happen. They know you're coming back, that's what they want. But in actuality though, when people come home and they're like, yo, like, you know, why couldn't he just get it together? You know what I'm saying? Man, dudes up in here in war zones, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just Vietnam in some of these yards, you know?
Well, it's almost like, you know, I've ran across some guys, and I'm looking, or I have like maybe a short interaction, and I'm thinking about going home one day. But you know, you obviously have to have a conversation like that dude, like he don't really even care.
Yeah.
You know, he's on a time. I'm seeing some dudes on there on such some like gangster shit, like really like, dude, they don't care. It doesn't matter if they go home or not. Like if you do something and they feel disrespected, or if they got somebody they feel like that told on it, like they seen dudes like, you know, people think, oh, nothing happened. There's some like certain people, they feel like you told like certain groups of individuals in prison, and they feel like this dude told on the case, or he got all these dudes like they dude, it's over for that dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? When they find like, oh, that dude told. I seen the dude on the yard, and you know he was hard. Everybody was cool with him, but then somebody else came and said, you know that dude hot, right? Immediately he went from being cool to like it's a wrap. Yeah. I'm like, well, what'd he do? I mean, beating his ass on a horseshoe pit. Yeah. Beating his ass.
Yeah.
Like punished him, stomping out. Like, damn, that dude, he's a big dude too. You thinking he cool? And you're like, I'm glad I never really got too close to that guy.
Yeah. Well, you know, especially now, because I know it's been some times you've been in affairs, it's even more, man, listen, this dude, and listen, you know, sometimes there's some structure that needs to be put in place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you see that right now in society today. Because there's no repercussions, people are so disrespectful.
That's right, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they can hide behind their keyboard, they can say vicious things. You know, it could be racist, it could be, you know, hateful just because of whatever you're talking about. It could be whatever. I mean, I'm sure you get it all the time. Somebody always got something crazy. They're millions of miles away, they're safe. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes in some incidents, there is some people need to be corrected. Because I've seen guys who come in on this pedestal that they can get away with anything. And then when they get their hat taken to them, they're the nicest people in the world after that. That correction. You know what I'm saying? And in certain cases, and I'm not saying kill anybody or whatnot, but there is. And there's some crowball people, man, listen, man, we're better off without them because they're just taking, you know, us down, period, right? Yeah. You can't change them. You know, there's no help. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, we see it all today. I mean, guys, a serial killer goes to death row, and there will be somebody to say, no, he has rights. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he shouldn't be, you know, like this dude just murdered, you know, a whole family. Like, well, he doesn't have any right. He took the rights of this family. Like, that's done and over with. You know what I'm saying? He know he's guilty. He said he's guilty. So it's over.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And in some, we, you know, there's some elements in society because we have the illusion that we have so much freedom, which we don't. But we have this illusion that there's so much freedom that there's just a
I call some of them dudes, they're just demons.
Yeah.
They're demons. I used to say, man, if I ever seen that dude on the street, man, I'm grabbing something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he's like this. He's a piece of shit.
If he comes in your house, you already know he ain't coming. He's gonna try to. There's dudes that do crimes and they go above and beyond. Meaning, like, you take a purse, but you actually strangled a girl and killed her.
Yeah.
Like it was just a purse.
Yeah.
Took the purse and go. You know what I'm saying? Like, or just
You
whatever.
didn't have to do. Why you do all that?
Yeah. The extra. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, it's just you know. And now it's like, man, listen, I see the yard. These dudes will pull up. And you know now, like, cause if you're at home, like one of the home, you know, we pull up. Everybody got their crew. They take care of everybody, right? Like, as soon as you get blessed, right? Dudes that take their blessings. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, if you need, you know, cosmetic, food, whatever, and everything, and they'll know they hot. You know what I'm saying? And then when that paperwork show up, right? It be yeah. And I mean, it used to trip me. I'm like, why would you even? Like these dudes, man. I'm telling you, man. But even paperwork, man. Listen, dudes got called doctor and alternate. Man, it's dudes. Man, it's such a.
Yeah.
I don't even, when I'm in there, I don't even focus. Dudes focus on it, and I'm like, we're not in that era anymore. Yeah. Why waste time? You know what I'm saying? You know, all this dude hot in their yard. Man, listen, half this yard is hot. So if you take him out, you got to take everybody out. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody's not on the same accord anymore. There are some real ones in there, though, like that are official. You know what I'm saying? You know, respect. You know what I'm saying? They come from that life, they in that life, and that's it. That's all they know. And there's respect. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them are just, they're riding a coattail off of those real ones, right? And trying to get notoriety and fame, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what everybody's about now, right? This rap thing. Everybody's hard, everybody's this. Man, every album that come out, like dudes just killing dudes harder. If you had a Glock on your album, the next dude gonna come out, he got the AR with the Bing, and then the guy on the next album come out, he got a tank.
Yeah.
You know, it's like now I just got IEDs. You know what I'm saying? Like it gets more retarded, and it's like, you know, a lot of some of them got a catchy tune that I like, and I get on it. You know, it's just different with rap now, right?
But no, like how you used to listen to it before. I know for myself, sometimes I'll turn it on, Tank, to be honest, and I'll be working out. Cause you know in the gym, we used to work out, so we together. We know certain music, but then I get to a point now. You know what? I'm just gonna go back and listen to Isley Brothers or Al Green, cause it's like I don't even feel that shit no more. The rap is so fake because these dudes are such a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Such bullshit.
Yeah.
And because of the level of consciousness, it's like to a point I can only listen to like maybe old school Rakim, maybe some old Public Enemy at the like, you know, or you know, something, you know, Tribe Called Quest, some classic.
Right.
But like the new shit, oh dude, I'm gonna kill this. And I'm thinking these little young dudes, these dudes wouldn't have survived in juvenile hall when I was up in there. They're not even cut like that.
Cut like that.
You know? So for me to entertain you, like you really, it's just stupid, man. And like you said, that same energy they put in the rap and all the negative shit, they could have been talking about some positive shit.
I mean, or just keeping it real. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you do. I respect everybody from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? If your message is real, you know what I'm saying? I respect it. Even if you don't like me because of my color and you say it straightforward, I respect you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now they come in and they hide under a cloak and faking you, and then they stab you. The moment you turn your head, they stab you. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect that. I like keep it real. I don't care where you from. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why men just can't be men. You know, I told one of my young homies before, he got a lot of time. And the first thing he was like, you know, it's my first time going to the pen, and you know, I don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? I'm nervous, right? And this, that, third. I said, man, listen, you got to hold on to one thing, and that's being a man. You know what I'm saying? A man can go anywhere and do anything. You know what I'm saying? You stand on that, what it is to be a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And I don't care who you are. You don't have to have an organization behind you to be that man. It's respectable men in there. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's it. That's all that's on. Stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And do your time. Don't get distracted because these guys are in there. You know, they thrive on that negative, right? So they want to wait for you to slip so they can get everybody riled up. You know what I'm saying? And half the dudes that are always doing all this usually got some type of smut on them. Like the dudes that are talking the loudest, they got so much. You know what I'm saying? You know, I used to get smut on me because they was like, all I did was walk the yard, and I'm always walking with, you know, the white guys or this guy or that guy. I didn't really want to walk. And I told the homies, I'm like, yo, y'all didn't man, listen, man, I'm 49. And I'm not trying to talk about no more gang stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not going to help me provide and feed for my family when I get home.
Yeah.
I got to get back to the real world. I got a date. Now, I see if you didn't have a date and you caught up in this. But, man, I need to survive. This guy right here is real estate. This guy right here is stock market. This guy right here is a lawyer. This guy right here was this, and this. These are all things and tools that I need to sharpen and put in my toolbox when I come home. So I'm studying. You know what I'm saying? If you want me to walk the track with y'all, let's talk about building. How can we get to this bag together? You know what I'm saying? I don't care about who killed what and who on the yard hot and who whatever. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody doing nothing about it. We just walking around talking about it.
Well, you know, too, I know, like, when I used to be out there doing, in prison on the yard and talking with certain people, my thing was I was trying to, rather than, I could have run around trying to get a bunch of connections, but my thing was like, who would I really connect with on the street? And so I tried to build relationships with guys in there that if I was on the street, I would really kick it with them. And those are the people I still talk to. I got 3 or 4 dudes that I met inside I talk with. And so those are the friendships I built.
Facts.
There are people I've seen, but I didn't hang around them because I'm like, that's not somebody that I think that I could create anything with on the street. And my thing was, man, I'm gonna be, 30-something years old. I'm gonna be gone a decade. I gotta get my shit together. And then I was trying to think about, I don't want to become an animal in here. And sometimes I've seen dudes, like you said, they be one up and, oh yeah, man, I remember we robbed this dude and tied him up. And the other dude, yeah, well, we took this dude, we tied the lady, we hit this. I'm like, God, that's all just total this negative destruction.
Right.
And these dudes they're getting off on it because who got the best story?
Right.
Like you said, tank, AR-15, helicopter.
Right.
And I'll be like,
yeah.
Man, just God, please, what is this? What is my lesson with this? And I was in the cell with some dudes. And I'm like, it's like I got to hold on to my sanity. And I didn't have nobody on the street really, no baby mom hold me down or nobody doing this. So, and I'm thinking like for my family, pretty much I had embarrassed them to the point where they didn't want nothing to do with me until I got out.
Right.
So I'm like, I got to really change who I am to prove to myself, to prove everybody else that this was a fluke. Because like, man, people think, damn, dude, you ran up in there with a gun, you must be crazy.
Right.
I have you might rob me. What the fuck you on? I mean, so it was some things I had to do for myself. But like, these people on the street, they think it's a game, and you get in there, and you might come in there and be cool, but it's not. I've seen dudes come in there and they lose themselves, man.
Right.
Dude ain't right no more. You seen it like something happen, and he getting a couple riots and shit, and next and then you see him on another institution, like, damn, dude, he ain't like when we first got together.
Right.
He something done got to him.
That's what I'm saying. That trauma, and people deal with it in different ways, right? And they shut certain feelings out, and you become numb to it. Those dudes up in there, man, they're habitual stickers. In New York, they had habitual slashers, man. They got to tie their hands when they go to wear it because they'll cut you in. Man, I went to New York. It was different too, right? Because I was like, I walk up in there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, trying to figure out, because I'm from LA, how things work and whatnot, and I'm from the blue side of the team, and I go up in there, and I'm like, let me see if there's some homies in here, right? And it tripped me out, man. It was dudes tatted up that had all these LA gang stuff on them that I recognized, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, we got homies here, talking to them. And the whole time, and I remember right when we was going to the pod, they took him another direction. I guess they had like a special gang unit for them, how they work, right? And I'm just general pop, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't in here on no, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm from where I'm from, though. I ain't gonna never change that, you know what I'm saying? But, I ain't no active dude out here, you know what I'm saying? I don't claim to be none of that. I mean, I hold my own anywhere. I'm always be a man, you know what I'm saying? And my homies love me because I always come back. When I win, I come back and give back, you know what I'm saying? And I try to uplift everybody to being bigger and better and being stronger. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been one to hate or hold anybody back, man. Never. And my name has always been good everywhere I go, man. And even to top that off, man, I remember when I left New York, I had my little crew, consisted of some of my Albanian partners, man, some Italian partners, some of my black partners. We all sat at a table, man, and man, they showed me love because it was like when I left, man, dudes was, like teary-eyed, like, man, we're gonna miss you, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a pleasure, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's how real men conduct in these environments, man. We all trying to survive, but we also want to get home to our loved ones, you know what I'm saying? And you got to weed away from those dudes that's just lost, like you said, and that's going through all that trauma because, it'll take you down a path, you know what I'm saying? And it's easily, coming from that lifestyle, having to hold pride and deal with pride, because pride is big, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I practice every day on that, you know what I'm saying? Pride is big. He disrespect me, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And you have to really wager, the outcome. What is it really worth, man? And I just used to keep this picture of my family, right? Like when I come home and I be with them and what's important, because I got to be out there to help provide and protect them. Because these dudes is getting out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I need to be out there on the front line because the government ain't gonna help you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, they already disarming you now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they already taking your gun rights. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't taking these illegal guns. They're putting them in the community.
Well, literally, I mean, somebody run upon you, and if you protect your family and shoot them, you're liable for letting them. So what are you supposed to do? To do rape your family?
Right.
I mean, how does that work?
And wait for the police to get here. Wife getting raped in there. You looking all the time like I'm waiting for 911. They just stay right there. My wife is getting raped, choked, everything. Like we'll handle it when we get there. Boom, they show up 30, 40 minutes later. You know what I'm saying? Like no, like this is it's getting so ridiculous out here that it ain't making sense, man. And I'm American. I'm proud to be an American because we built this country.
That's
you know
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
Like for what it is. Whether we hate it or however you if it wasn't for the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors, we wouldn't be where we at. And there's always gonna be somebody arguing whatever else. But the fact is the fact. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna give that up because they work hard, for us to be where we at today. You know what I'm saying? Civil rights movement and everything else. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I want to claim my stake in this land, but this country could be so much better. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a great leader to unify this country and get us back on track.